Okay. Are you
ready?
Yeah, go for it. All right. It is 6:31 on July 31st. This is the committee as a whole session. In attendance tonight, we have Councilperson Martin, Councilperson Grant, Councilperson Passion, myself, Council President Cameron, Councilperson Fox, Councilperson Pinto. We have our chief officer here, and we have our village fiscal officer, Mr. Wilczek. So.
And our mayor is.
Well, this is a work session, so. Okay, so tonight, we talk about street services and parks, recs and parks, but I see our fiscal officer is here, so I imagine he has something to bring up. Or not.
It looks like no.
I'm sorry.
Do you have something to cover tonight that you want to go over?
There's two pieces of legislation
Okay.
just in case.
Okay,
So,
so, I mean, it's not normally fiscal night, so that's, and you're here, so I figured you had something to cover.
if it's questions arose to what I sent everybody explaining what was taking place,
Okay,
wanted to be here to answer it, that's all.
perfect, okay. Does anyone have any questions?
Other than the questions you addressed in our email regarding, both of them, I guess,
I think for anybody like listening, you should probably backtrack a little bit too.
yeah, so ordinance, to Stacy's point, so ordinance, annual compensation for 2025, ordinance 2025-14, our fiscal officer sent that to us in advance, and we did have a few questions in regards to that, mainly because, from my perspective, there is when that pops up, I automatically trigger and say, well, hey, didn't this go in the budget last year? And Jeffrey was kind enough to send an email back, kind of explaining that in regards to differential and different things in regards to the police force. And Jeff, I don't know if we want to just go high level again, kind of.
Sure.
Underneath it.
Not to confuse the issue, but it was requested that the entire ordinance be redone, actually not redone, presented, and only the sergeant's pay on second and third shift is what changed, along with the sentence in the paragraph under. But there was a request that the entire ordinance be repeated so that everything was together.
Gotcha.
Which kind of confuses the issue as to what the.
Yeah, I think that's,
Okay, but it is what it is. Again, when the legislation was passed before cleaning up and addressing implementation issues with the $1 shift differential, the lieutenant and sergeant were left at 6% above the daytime shift, shift 1. Sergeant works second and third shift, 1 and 2. So in this particular case, we're trying to fix the problem because the sergeant and an officer in shift in the step 6 are awful close as to what they would be making.
Yeah.
Okay, so this just kind of corrects the problem.
And thanks for clarifying just representing the ordinance, because I think that's what triggered me, right? Because I'm like, well, hey, what's going on? The other thing that Jeffrey and I briefly talked about right before this is that when a budget's presented in regards to pay, this is pretty normal, right? You want to see that percentage increase for any salary that gets increased, and that is part of the budget process that happens beginning in September-ish.
Yes, and it goes with the appropriations that are approved in December. And there's always the annual ordinance for pay, compensation, where it outlines, essentially, it's the same as ordinance 25.
Yeah.
Okay, that spells everything out. And it's knowing what kind of increases put into this ordinance for everybody. If I recall, I think it was 3% for 25.
And the only request I would have, and I know Jeffrey, this is hard to plan for, is in situations with wages, it's so important to know those changes. If we can just anticipate as best we can in the budget coming up for next year, that way,
It's not a problem. I already have kind of done and where I'm kind of teetering.
So Jason, I had looked at, just to put it on record, I had looked at past records in regards to this. Everything seems cool. again, the only questions I have, only reason I have questions, because again, and actually, and Tommy and I talked about it too, and we'll throw that out there, Tommy had mentioned some things, so
Okay.
just education in a way, but also making sure that the community realizes what's going on.
Right.
And the other thing with the next ordinance, 2025-15, and I've been working with the village engineer, trying to identify, my best description, the pieces, parts of River Lake Road project that can be charged to storm sewer, sanitary sewer, water, so on, okay? In this particular case, Northland Plaza is butting up against 161. And for an excess of 10 years, we have not been able to use $1 in the state highway fund. Now we've got an opportunity to. So initial round, Mike gave me a certain dollar amount, and that's what I anticipated early on. But as we work back through it, we're up to $63,000 that can be charged to the state highway fund, directly related to that intersection with Northland Plaza and 161. If you recall, Northland Plaza is being reconstructed, part, but it also includes the intersection.
I'm sorry, where do they intersect?
Northland Plaza, Ponderosa, 161.
Yeah, okay, so Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Right,
That
okay.
little stretch between Northland Plaza and 161 is where some of this work is taking place.
Right, okay.
So finally got an opportunity to utilize the
Yeah.
dollars of the state highway fund. It's sitting there with $200,000 in it.
Oh my gosh, great.
Can we put some prettier like lights in there or something too?
I'm sorry,
Can we put in like anything else, like prettier lights or as part of that project, if we have excess money we could use? Like,
I mean, has it been engineered?
yeah.
So we may still have options as to what we can look at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you know how there is an electrical problem, or we can redo the sign?
Are you talking about this project that's going on right now?
I mean, what I'm saying is, can we add something on real quick?
somewhat easier said than done.
Right, but if we have extra money, why don't we talk about this? Do you see what I'm saying?
What, I'm not sure what you're trying to do or thinking.
If we have money and it is hard for us to access it, and now we have an opportunity to access it, can we use that extra money to add additional improvements to that area?
Can we use the state
Okay.
highway fund for other things other than the
And
highway?
on that intersection?
No, that money is restricted by state statute,
To what?
and it's to only be used with state highways.
I understand that, but if that intersection is a part of that state highway, is there anything else we can do to improve that intersection with the excess money that we have that we can't possibly use for anything?
I can't answer that one, that would be something the engineer would have to answer.
Okay.
That's out of my
Something to think about.
area of expertise.
Okay.
But again,
I
this
mean,
is
maybe?
cleaning up the
Well, it's worth
intersection, they
asking.
gotta rerun the wires for the lights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you
Mhm.
know? Is like, if we have that extra money and we can't use it for anything else, why wouldn't we make it as nice as possible?
Because we can use it for other highway projects later on down the
Some-
road.
There are no, it's the only highway project we can,
Someday, ODOT may come along and ask for money from the village to address that short section of 161 that is in the village.
right.
And I think it's less than a half mile, if I recall right. So,
And the Farview entrance would be the same thing, right? So if we ever have to redo something with that Farview entrance, it would come out of that same,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
So that's, yeah,
so,
The fund gets 7.5% of the gasoline tax money that comes in every year. So it's a small amount that it gets, but over a number of years, it's just accumulated. So,
right, and we just never had an opportunity to use it.
in this case, it allows me to stretch the street fund a little bit further as far as other projects
right.
and costs there.
Jeff, can I ask a question about 2025-14?
Sure,
It looks like it includes the sergeant, but not the lieutenant.
that's because the lieutenant,
This is very simply, was just an oversight at the time the ordinance was was constructed the first time. The goal was to give second and third shift officers a different shift pay because of the hours that they had to work, especially the second and third shifts. The first shift officers did not receive that shift. We're gonna call it a shift differential, just because it makes what I'm saying simple. So when it happened, the sergeant did not get any kind of shift differential, and the mayor went, oops, we forgot the sergeant. So, and he was really very gallant about it, and it was just, okay, but finally somebody went, hey, shouldn't he have extra money? And everyone went, oh yeah, we forgot the sergeant. So all this is just an ordinance correcting that error.
And lieutenant is on the first shift, period.
Always?
No, but it's an assigned shift, so it's not, we cover second shift, sometimes I'll work second shift, but I don't get any extra pay, and the lieutenant wouldn't either. And if, like, say, the first shift officer, had to work a second shift for, say, a week or something, they wouldn't get that difference in pay, it's just a coverage, so.
Routine.
But if they get assigned to the shift, as a permanent assignment, then that's when that difference kicks in.
When we did that modification to the handbook, that's the thing that we fixed. Because what was happening was if anyone worked a second shift, they were getting that second shift pay. But the intention of the change was if your permanent schedule was a second or third shift, you got the differential. And so we made a change to it. And so since the lieutenant only works first shift, it is a first shift position, there's no reason to do that for second.
Jeff, you said this was requested. Can I ask who requested it?
It came from the mayor and the chief.
And why does this need to be passed as an emergency?
It's
Yeah.
to
It's for our people. It's to take care of our people.
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
And actually, that increase would not go into, the officer would not receive it until the start of the pay period, August 10th, I think it was.
Yeah, that's a pay day. It's the start of the first pay period in August,
Yeah.
whenever that is.
So the whole purpose for waiving the 3 readings and passing it as an emergency is to rectify the situation as quickly as possible and get the sergeant to the 6% on top of the second shift base salary as quickly as possible, because everyone else has been under that for
Since the first of the year.
since the first of the year. Has it been? Yeah. So that makes sense for this one, and so I'm comfortable with it. I understand what you're doing, and unless I'm really missing something, I understand we're just trying to take care of our sergeant, really, kind of specifically.
Is this normally something that you would bring up in like a work session, like a month before? Or is it something that just happens last minute?
It just happened last week.
Oh,
It shouldn't have, but it
Right.
did.
This was an error on our part.
Yeah.
By not catching it. And now we need to correct it,
okay,
just to do right by our
Right,
police
otherwise
department.
that's a terrible.
Right.
got it.
And so Jeffrey, is it fair to ask we're gonna have like a finance committee meeting that, like similar to what we did a couple weeks ago, you, me and Tommy and I.
Just
can we-
remember, there's 3 people in every committee.
Gotcha. Sorry, Keith. But is it fair that we can bring up this type of stuff for the next budget, just talking about everything and just making sure we understand?
Yes.
Try to talk through it as much as possible, each part, and
That would be-
obviously, when we talk about the budget in the main meetings, then maybe.
That would be a good place to discuss this.
So, Jason, I'll commit to making sure we do as much as possible. This is new to me, though.
No, you're good. You're good. Just FYI, there's 3 people in every committee, and I think I'm on finance as well. So just make sure you send me an email. Check my schedule.
Invite us all, the public is invited.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, any committee meeting is public, so.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions for Jeff? No. Jeff has asked, just FYI, if we can suspend, to table resolution 2025-17 tonight. That's the one where we're changing the fees. They would like a little more time internally to work out the details on, not the refund of the deposit, but what is the policy on, how do they check to see what gets refunded and the fees attached to that. So, if there's a stain in the carpet, is that a set fee type thing?
Oh,
And they
got
need
it.
some time to kind of discuss that and figure it out. So, anyone have a problem with that if we table it? If we pass it, then we have to go through this whole thing again to make any changes to it. So, if we table it, we can,
Do it right?
yeah, we can do it right. And then just bring it off the table and vote on it and be done with it the next time.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when we get to that, we'll just, someone will need to make a motion to table it.
Were we on a time constraint from, I kind of quit, I forgot a little bit about that last meeting, sorry, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Something was on a timetable, police
I
pay.
think it's.
We passed
it's
that part,
the,
right?
No, I think you're talking about the, special duty.
Yeah.
Especially,
Yeah,
We
I
have-
mean,
that's-
is there anything coming up that you're,
well, we were trying, the goal was to have that done before the fourth, but we actually gone under contract with them prior to
right,
that ordinance coming up, so it didn't really matter.
there's nothing on the books right now
There's
for
nothing
any,
coming up immediately.
Right.
So we won't be affecting Minerva
So
pay.
if we have to wait 30 days, like if we pass it in September,
Yeah.
and then, and then it goes into effect in October,
the next,
that would be fine.
well, the next council session that we'd be voting is the 14th of August. And this is still set to pass as an emergency, which means it would go into effect immediately. So,
So-
on the 15th, it would be in
If
effect.
2 weeks is enough, I don't know how much time they need to work out their internal flow and what they need to.
What do you think, Jeff? Do you think you could figure something out in 2 weeks?
So I think we can, yes.
Okay,
And
okay.
we'll be discussing that at the next work session too.
If we need to,
I mean,
yeah.
that way we can help speed that along on the ins and outs, that's all we're doing, right?
I don't think we have to ins and outs it, I
Oh.
think they have to
Oh,
ins and
sorry.
outs it.
Yeah, they wanna discuss a little further to figure
Oh,
out.
gotcha, how that,
And so they can be transparent about, is there
It's a nuts and
chargeback?
bolts thing.
okay.
And there's a video redaction fee on that.
Your amounts and everything are fine, it's not that, it's the nuts and bolts.
I got it.
Like how do they determine how much of a deposit goes toward this example of damage?
And who's checking it? Who's actually coming in to check in
And
between
how they're gonna-
events?
I'll volunteer.
So, well, we just gotta get a policy written out, so,
Can't just be
yeah,
a random council person assigned to.
right. Okay. Excuse me, anything else for Jeff? Okay, well then let's go through the committees, so streets.
Okay, so hopefully when the mayor comes back, we can talk more about this, but it sounds like we have another water main break, so that's great. We're working on it, but technically, I think we are responsible for the repair unless the previous repair was not done correctly, and which, if it's in the same place, we will try and, not pay for this repair of a repair in the same place, because it sounds like the work that was performed previously was, not up to par.
Yeah, just to clarify,
I
that,
haven't gotten any emails about anything else. We're working on Minerva Lake Road. We do need to discuss, like, what are we doing about the trees in the right of way?
I thought we discussed that.
I don't think we came up with a solution.
I don't
Are we
remember a
reimbursing?
solution.
Are we reimbursing? What are we doing?
I
So,
thought we said no.
we're amending.
I thought we, I
I
thought,
don't think, okay, fine, but just, I need a
I-
concrete answer, I guess.
I remember the conversation being, let's not set that precedent.
Right, but, okay, so we're just leaving it there, cool. Okay, we're starting that. I don't know, I haven't had any other things except the engineer's report. We're still working on, that's an engineering thing. I don't know, I have nothing else for streets. I think the court is still flooding a little bit. We gotta look into that. On Parkway. That's all I got.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Jeff, the mayor, and I have a meeting with Mike Flickinger
Okay.
on Tuesday
Yeah.
to talk about streetlights. I think, I mean, I've had one-on-one discussions with a few of you. I think an option that I'd like to discuss with Mike is that we put them at the intersections and see what that looks like. We had talked in previous council meetings, I know David tried, as part of safety committee, tried to get a light at Farview and Minerva Lake Road, and I don't know why we never ended up putting that in there. But maybe if we put some at that four-way intersection and some at the entrance, that might be a nice way to kind of define the neighborhood, as opposed to putting them all the way down the street.
I don't think we should put them all the way down the street.
Yeah.
That thing, well, why can't we put lights on the telephone poles? Or
I
whatever
don't think they're
poles
on
the
the,
light
there's no
poles?
poles on the streets there, they're in the back of the houses. So,
There used to be lights on all of those. Most of them were burned out.
on the lights behind it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, I think this is,
And again, where do you want to put them, like in the right of way, where people could complain about in the corners?
yeah, it would,
Yeah.
it'd probably be in the corners.
Do we need it?
Do we?
Want versus need, I guess, right?
Yeah, is it a need? I don't know. It's nice to have intersections that are lit up. I mean, I think if we're talking about our most popular road, traveled road in the village, there could be a necessity for lights that help illuminate. It might deter people.
If you think about the pedestrian traffic, especially during school time, when the lights aren't out and the sun doesn't shine, and there's kids walking to school, you know, just pedestrians at night, same thing. And I don't have any statistics about stop sign running, but I know I see people that I feel don't stop. And
Yeah, we work at four-way quite a bit.
yeah, and it's not a complaint about enforcement. It's more so,
No, I mean, we work because it's always been an issue.
yeah. Sometimes I go through it and I'm like, did I stop? I don't remember.
And interestingly enough, the ones that, in my experience, in the 10 years I've been here, it's the north-south traffic that runs the stop sign, not the east-west. The east-west tends to stop. I've sat on Farview and run it there, and I get the ones that are, when I write more tickets when I'm sitting on Minerva Lake Road.
Yeah, no, so I think I like the idea of lights in there, just for a safety aspect.
I believe that we talked about that on the northeast side of Farview and Minerva Lake Road for sure with Eric, not only planning and zoning, but also sometime early this year, and forgive me, I forgot, but that was one of the main concerns, was lighting in that intersection.
So I think, because cost is going to be a factor in this as well. If we limit them to intersections, it's probably a lot easier to get the power to what we need. We've talked about putting a marquee down at the Westerville Road entrance because we don't have one there. That could potentially take some power as well. We could do lights and a marquee down there. We could do it at the four-way stop. And then as we're working Minerva Lake with sidewalks, we could have them, maybe this intersection down here or places like that. Huh?
That's already street light out there at that intersection.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I just wanted to let you know that we're meeting with them on
Yeah.
Tuesday, so
Yeah,
that's part of it.
and maybe, can it be link us money?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The entrance at Farview for Minerva Lake, did we ever figure out that lit up Minerva Lake?
Eric is currently going to message last week Westerville City Schools and follow up on that. The signage, apparently they cut the power when they were doing some
Well,
work.
there's one that's got a power cut, and I think it's Ponderosa, the light fixture's gone.
Yeah, we're talking about the Farview entrance.
Okay.
That's
So that's two now.
oh yeah.
How do they know about that?
Well,
At least nobody's hit it
not to
again.
add to this, I'm working with AEP to identify all the street lights in here.
Oh,
There are some questions surrounding what's being built, so
Stay tuned.
more to come.
We count you as 50 street lights. We have
There's a
7.
total of 20 lights on the bill, and I've got 10 accounted for.
So you need to follow up.
That excludes all the monument lights,
Yeah,
so, and,
yeah.
you know,
That's
the
interesting.
electric for the pump or the,
Are those just like a fixed cost per unit? They're not metered or?
depends upon the wattage of the bulb too.
in the olden days, you could call AEP and they put one in front of our house and we get billed for that.
You get a bill for it?
We paid for that street light since like 1976 or 77. The one right in front of my house.
You get a bill every month for your
It's
electricity.
included on the bill, it comes on automatically.
A separate line item charge?
No, it's included in the bill. Anyone in this neighborhood can request one of those, I think.
Yeah, if the one was just on that pole, like it's in front of JP's house right now.
Yeah.
So as long as you can get rid of that.
And how I know it's private is my neighbor works for AEP, he came over and checked all the stamps on the side. I was like, yeah, it is.
Interesting.
Okay. Streets were good, services,
Nothing new to report.
okay. Recreations and parks, honestly, I have not been, looking at the pool stuff this year, so not quite sure where we're at. What? I know, I haven't dived into it like I normally do, so,
Are you okay?
Pun intended.
yeah. But we do have the RFP out, right? And,
The RFP is out. I have met with 2 architects so far at the pool
okay.
this week.
Uh-huh.
I've had a few emails of a handful of them expressing interest.
Mhm.
That's all so far.
Okay, and how many days did we give them for the RFP? 30 or
Pretty
45?
much at the end of August,
Okay.
I think it was,
Oh,
late August, maybe
okay.
Friday the 22nd, I think it may have been.
Gosh, okay, all right, so they still have some time.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
I have a question.
okay, yeah, go for it.
What is going on with the bathrooms?
So we had a leak, not a leak, we had a clog fixed, a couple weeks ago. It was 4th of July weekend. Is there still an issue?
It's still,
Besides the normal stink of those
It-
restrooms?
it's still to the point where
Is there water in the,
there's something still not right, and it still smells like
okay.
urine in the women's bathroom, that, it's just gross.
Okay,
I know there was work done on it once already.
right,
I know, and it got a little bit better, but it still wasn't to the point where my
Oh, wow.
baseline is, like, I get it, there's gonna be water, whatever. Like last year, it didn't, and like halfway through the season, I feel like the smell started, and it still has not dissipated. So, I don't think it's quite fixed yet. From what I gather, it's a little bit worse than usual.
okay,
I'll have to talk to John on it.
Yeah,
yeah, kind of. I didn't know it was back, I thought it was fixed, so,
still
I thought it
smell
was fixed too.
okay.
it. I still smell it, but
And you said there is water on the floor?
there for sure is water on the
Okay.
floor, so.
Okay. Brian,
Water's always.
Brian, there's water still on the floor, have you been down there?
There's always water on the floor, it still
But is
smells.
it people coming in wet clothes, or is it?
That's a good part of it. There's also, I believe there's a broken pipe in the wall
Right,
that comes up through the floor.
okay,
That's from the men's urinal.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it smells like that.
Alright. You'll talk to John? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
At some point, the ladder was removed and then they put it back. Did you hear about this too?
There was a ladder that a rung broke on it.
Yeah, and then you put it back and it's still like super rusty, and then there's another like step that's like super wobbly. I don't know, there's stuff like that. I don't know if you wanna talk about it right now, but.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, there's like one ladder, it's rusty, and then the top ladder rung is like not stable, so it feels like, it almost feels like you could like tighten it, but I think the nut is so rusty, you can't. I don't know if that's something we wanna fix, but it seems like a liability issue. The one where they took the ladder out and they put it back, that whole side of that ladder is also very rusty and looks like tetanus from a professional standpoint to me. So I don't know if we need to require tetanus shots with pool membership or.
Show us your technique.
Show me your, but, like, I can overlook some stuff, but, so that one too, that's all I got.
And Brian, you're consistently working on that, I know, because Cam pulls them out, my son pulls them out.
Right.
At times when these things get tried, and then you address some of them, right?
Whenever the bad ladder, John will tell me.
Yeah.
He
Do
was
you want
supposed
me
to
to
paint.
tell John when I'm there? Because I don't, should I just be that person?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
that's the only way they
I
get
already
fixed.
know.
They do a pretty good job of identifying those, I thought. I mean, I see them pulling them out all the time.
Yep.
I mean, you're right, though, I mean, obviously, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that goes back to, later on, we'll talk about pool discussion over the next year or so, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Because that's
I
something
know,
that
you
isn't
hate,
easy.
you hate sinking a ton of money into this
Yeah.
stuff when we know we're replacing a lot of it, but
Yeah.
it's gotta work.
Yeah, and I guess that's my question is like, are we doing enough maintenance and checking of this stuff? Where it almost feels like I shouldn't be the one complaining about this, where it's like, this is clearly all rusted.
I mean, a wasp came right to my neck the other day, and I addressed it with John right away. I did text him, I mentioned about the smell being brought up. His comment is very minimal, if any. I said, Jeff may reach out. He goes, it should be addressed though. So to Stacy's point, I'm talking about the women's restroom, sorry.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
and he said, he did joke and say he could be just used to it. So.
yeah, I think he's sitting right there,
He
he
is
knows
sitting
why
right
to it. It's him.
Right.
So, yeah,
Okay.
but also, I don't know, are we gonna do any maintenance? There's like new rust
there's-
stains everywhere.
Yeah,
And
there,
I feel
All
like,
on the pool.
yeah, and I feel like that's gotta be,
Well,
how's
you
that
know, inside.
addressed? Yeah, but even on like, I don't know the technical terms, that like metal
yeah.
barrier, what is that called?
Well, they do, there's a word.
Aluminum gutters?
Yeah, the
Like
gutters.
the gutters.
Probably.
But I feel like that's almost cosmetic, where you could just scrub off the
That's
rust.
relatively clean, right?
That's stainless.
The
It's stainless steel
That's-
too.
Yeah, like you should be able to get that out, right? Or no?
Where are you talking about?
Just right where I usually sit, which is
Mhm.
facing the baby pool, like that whole side. Seems kind of rusty lately.
Now, is it underneath it, Stace? If you don't
No,
mind.
it's not.
'Cause I know-
I see it underneath. I'm not trying to be like this pool is, and usually I don't. It's just lately I've noticed more of those rusting, so I feel like if we address it now, it won't spread. Stuff like that. That ladder, I don't remember it being that rusty. It got like rusty really fast.
Well, the frame, you're talking about the frame of the ladder.
Yeah, that whole like right hand side. Like even when you grab it, you have to touch the rusty stuff.
Well, those are 60-some years old.
I know, but
If you're talking about the one ladder that I saw there yesterday when we were out there,
yeah.
John had a hard time finding a part to fix that ladder. And my understanding is somebody made it. So it's a matter of just getting it cleaned up and painted at this point.
It's stainless steel, isn't it?
Not the ladders. The ladders, oh,
Aluminum.
those are definitely metal, right?
Yes.
Those are definitely metal. And every year, Brian's part of this, and Lifeguard's part of this, they go through, they scrape it off the best they can, they paint it, they tighten everything,
Right.
but those are so old, guys, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is like, can we,
Yeah.
and what kind of, I guess, for self-preservation interest, should we be doing aggressive maintenance? Probably not.
Just from my perspective, because I see it happen every year, they do a pretty good job of getting it up to snuff. But to your point, Stacy, it's just old, like,
Yeah.
there's no way they can support that. I mean, well, I've seen them pull out the ladders 3 or 4 times this year, and I know Brian comes over and fixes them in certain parts.
points, but it's a rough go.
To the
There's
point of
definitely-
sandblasting them, that's what you would have to do.
Yeah, there's definitely maintenance going on. We had to recall
Yeah.
around the whole gutter
Yeah.
this year. We've had some parts in the pump house replaced over the last year. So there's stuff going on, but maybe we need to take a closer look at some of those things.
It goes back to what you propose over the years, there's this emphasis we need to make on the pool. Where it stands, it's a question mark, but the pool house has gotta be one of the worst things I've seen. You know, and there's birds flying in and out, wasps everywhere.
It's-
I mean, John, you guys, some of you guys know this.
Yeah, it's going down, it's starting to
Yeah.
decline rapidly now.
Right.
Fortunately, we're addressing it. And I think our best plan is to, because we really haven't done this, we're not really talking up that, hey, we have a future for our pool and what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And I think we need to start doing that, and maybe people will give us a little grace, or mercy.
Or mercy.
Mercy, yeah. With what's going on, knowing, hey, you know, we have one more pool season after this year for this bathhouse
Yeah.
before we have something new. And then the next step is the pool itself. But,
But until then, we still have to make sure it's functional, is what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
we can't just get, we're getting.
no, it definitely has to be functional.
Yeah, that's the thing,
So-
it's like, at some point, it's like.
Yeah.
But I do wanna make sure we address Stacy's concern about the gutter, you know, because that is stainless steel.
Yeah.
If there's any issues with that, we just need to.
It just needs to, I feel like we need to ramp up the maintenance, unfortunately, to make it last,
Okay,
or, you know,
yeah.
If you see it, say it,
And,
all right.
let them
well,
know.
and just on that note, I do have a concern about that one lifeguard chair, the one that's freestanding by the kiddie pool, not the one we bought 2 years ago, but
Tall.
the tall one. There actually are some steps that are broken on it.
Is that right?
Yeah,
We
there's
haven't been
only,
able to find those yet because of the age of the ladder. So we would have to replace the whole ladder.
okay. I'm thinking, if there's ever a real big emergency, how quickly could someone actually get down that ladder? Because you have one, you're supposed to have one here, but it's missing, and then you have the one next to it.
You're talking about the stationary one.
Mhm.
Okay,
Not the new one we bought, but the previous one that's been there for a while.
the one that's cemented in the ground.
No, the freestanding one between the baby pool and the shallow section,
Okay.
on the bathhouse side of the,
The one you have to walk under.
One that's in front of the bathhouse.
yeah, there's
I
one,
didn't see the other one.
there's one, if you're looking at the pool, there's one to the left of
It's
that.
a tall, it's a tall. It sits
I
there.
remember seeing it.
Yeah.
I
I also always question why we have to have something that tall up towards the shallow
Sure,
end.
yeah,
You're
it's
not
also-
jumping off of that into the pool, so,
For little kids to walk
Yeah.
under to get.
I mean, unless you're trying to get a view of everything, that's.
So there might be a good suggestion that we can make to John, to switch that white chair that's sitting there, that's not really a pool chair per se, I get it, but switch that out for now if you think there's a need.
Yeah.
Because I think you'd be willing to do it.
I don't know, it just concerns me. Yeah.
The taller ladder is down there at the shallow end because you have to be able to look down on top of all, it's the more crowded end. And statistically, the smaller children are the ones that have the trouble swimming.
Sure.
So you want to be able to see down on all those children so you can see if anything happens. If you put a lower one there, then you can start to run into where bodies block bodies and won't be able to guard as efficiently.
I mean, I spend a lot of time at pools at other places, and I don't even see guards in chairs at other pools. They're usually walking along the edge, counting the people in the pools. Even at Zumbizi Bay, that tends to be what they do. They're never sitting in
I
chairs.
think part of the solution, you may just have to replace that
Yeah,
chair.
what is
Yeah.
it? What's
And
your village?
unfortunately, I won't get it until next year.
No, I know that.
Right.
I know that. It's something to think about for next year, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else with that?
Sorry, it's just, I guess my thing is I would like to see more maintenance, proactive maintenance, without me having to say something.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't wanna be the Karen.
Okay.
That's all right. Ladders are expensive. I just looked a couple up and
Yeah.
they're around 2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah, but here's my thing, it's like, okay, you see all of these rusty like nuts and you're still able to get them off before they rust in place. We should replace those before they rust to the point where we can't tighten the ladder and have to replace it.
Understood. Okay.
Because that's cheaper, that's like a 50-cent fix.
adjourn the work session?
Aye, yeah,
I move
yes.
All right, it's tough.
Hit the gavel.
No, you're good.